Hi guys, it's me Amy, and today I'm going to be reading 7 creepy ghost stories you won't believe really happen. So why don't we just get into the video? So the first story is called They Went to Sleep But the Kitchen Didn't. Just to say before I actually start reading the stories that I haven't read them first, so it's kind of like a try not to get scared video, but without actually watching videos of people getting scared but reading scary stories, which should be more scary. So the first story says, one night I was staying with some of my friends. We all fell asleep pretty late. Around 3 a.m. I woke up and heard something that sounded unmistakably like kitchen cabinets opening and shutting. It was loud enough that I felt like I had to see what was going on. I didn't see anyone in the kitchen, so I assumed I was hearing things. Well, the next morning when I woke up, one of my friends was really upset and crying. She said that she woke up in the middle of the night and heard people talking in the kitchen saying, "We are not wanted here anymore. We aren't. We are important." It was really scary. So that was the first story, which I wouldn't really say is particularly that scary, to be honest, because it didn't really have anything scary happening there. Yeah, people talking in the kitchen saying that they weren't wanted there anymore, but I don't get why you'd cry over it, if you know what I mean. And the second story is called This Is What Happens When You Drive Down a Haunted Road. When I was 18, I was really into scary movies. I just had an urge to see or experience something scary. It was during the summer that I started researching haunted sites I could visit. Then one caught my attention, the Sweet Hollow Road in Long Island. There was a bunch of popular urban legends linked to the site, and all of them have to do with a creepy underpass bridge. A few of the stories speak about all the violent deaths of children. One day I told my cousin and brother that we should visit Sweet Hollows. My cousin had just gotten his license and my mum insisted on tagging along. When we finally got to the underpass, we found nothing. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The only scary thing we experienced at that site was that due to the thin zigzag line road, we almost crashed into a tree. We thought the trip was a waste, but then something strange happened the next morning. My mum saw that during the night she felt someone or something was watching her from under her blanket. On the other hand, the rest of us had dreamt of a small boy with black hair. He was pale and none of us remember his face. Until the day we still believe that whoever we saw had to do with one of the many children who had died at the bridge. So I'd say that story was more scary than the first. But let's see if the next story, number 3, can be even more scarier. And the next story is called How Did the Chandelier Mystery Break? One night my brother, dad and I were sleeping and we heard a giant crash in the kitchen. We all woke up and ran in the kitchen and we saw what happened. The chandelier had been ripped out of the ceiling as if someone had yanked it off. It didn't look like it just fell from the train, which completely out of the ceiling. It was super crazy. Thinking about it now, maybe it was just Sia swinging from a chandelier. Well, that was not scary at all, because something fell from the ceiling. Yeah, that kind of just weird noises happen all the time. But let's see if the fourth one can be scarier. This house had a visitor who wouldn't leave. When I was 7 years old, we had a ghost in our house. I remember one night when we were talking in the living room and suddenly a glass of water went flying off the counter. Another time the cabinet started opening and closing. It was so bad that my parents got a priest to come to the house and do what would most likely be called an exorcism of some sort. We found out later that an old woman used to live in the house until she was murdered by her husband. We ended up moving, but I still have nightmares. Yeah, but if she was murdered, why would she make a lot of noise? That's just weird. And how can you remember that when you were 7? I wouldn't remember that. The next story doesn't have a name, but it goes like this. My friends were sleeping over and just as a joke someone said Bloody Mary in front of the mirror in my basement. Nothing happened, so we all went to sleep. Then about 2 a.m. I woke up and it sounded like someone was pacing on the other side of the wall in the unfinished part of the basement. I looked around and realised that sound had woken up several of my friends, so I asked if anyone wanted to check it out. Everyone was too afraid, so we tried to ignore it until slowly we fell back asleep. In the light of the day, everything seemed fine again, and we didn't think anything of it. Until several days later, I was scrolling through old pictures on my camera roll when I saw a picture I definitely did not take. It was of my friend who did Bloody Mary, and the photo was of her stone in there. She said the picture was in a really dark filter. I immediately talked to all of my friends who were over the night, and someone swore they didn't take it, so who did it? That one actually kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I'm more into the conspiracy theories about Bloody Mary and everything, but I wouldn't say it was overly scary. And then this one's called No One in the Bedroom But the Motion Detector Went Off. I have motion detectors in my house, and one day I was walking in my dad's girlfriend's house and my burglar alarm went off. The police came to my house to find out that my dad's motion detector went off in his room when no one was there.